Hey, greetings, Soul Tribe. This is Spirit with Harmonious Living Mindset. Hey, Galactic Tribe, Soul Tribe, this message is for you. So the tool today is just going to be a channeled message. I'm going to take you, you're going to walk and talk with me. So I don't know if you can feel the major shifts that have been happening. Many of you are going in and out of 5D. Okay, first of all, Starseeds, you are doing the work. We had to fall asleep, or we came in forgetting our mission. And now many of you are remembering, and you're waking up to the remembrance that you are worthy. You are worthy, you are divine, you are lovable, you are loving. You have so many gifts, so many talents, and you're sharing them, and you're shining unapologetically. Even though for you Starseeds that were being gang stalked with these government contracts, I totally understand, because I know for years, no matter where I would go, no matter what town or place that I would be in, I would be driving and there would be, a sheriff, a cop, who just always somewhere watching, being there. And now I think maybe it's different than it was before, but before it was definitely for intimidation purposes. Anyway, so you've been through a lot, and I understand, because I have been there with you, and we're still alive. Okay, so there is a divine design, and the divine has a plan for us to awaken to the truth of who we are, is that we're very powerful. And that's why there have been people who have not wanted us to be alive, to share the truth of who we are, what we came here to do, to help Gaia and help humanity evolve into 5D, into that fifth dimensional way of life, of more peace, more love, more joy, more abundance for all. And the ancestors said they were going to come in. They've come in. They're here. And they are, we don't see it directly right now, the divine justice, yet it is happening. And for those of you who are sensitive, empaths, psychics, seers, psych pomps, soul guides, to the other side, you know what I'm talking about. You feel these subtle shifts that are happening on the planet as we are learning to align our hearts and our minds with the divine and with Gaia, and to take Gaia higher. Before that can happen, though, there needs to be some real balancing, which is holding the people that have been doing some real shitty stuff. It's called, violating human rights. It's just beyond unbelievable. But it doesn't, what's happening is truths will be revealed. They'll always be revealed. The divine has a divine design. And no matter if we're not seeing it directly around us at this moment, all these masks are going to come off, and it has to. It has to be a clearing. There has to be a balancing where humanity is able to evolve. Earlier, I have thunders are rolling in. The thunders are rolling in. So the ancestors are speaking, and I'm listening, and I'm channeling and sharing with you. So I hear you, ancestors. For those of you who have done the work, that are doing the work, and the work that I'm talking about is doing the really deep, hard shadow work. The shadow work where everything had to drop away. Everything had to drop away. You had to let everything go so that the divine could tell you and help you remember that you are worthy, that you are loved, that you're lovable, that you're divine. And no one can give that to us. That's something that we have to go inward and remember. I mean, I wish I could, I have a friend that's going through a challenging time, and I wish I could just box it up, bow it up, and say you're worthy. Yet in this time of remembrance that the truth of life is love, this great awakening now is that we've never been separated from the divine. Never. And so we're remembering this. We're remembering to have empathy for ourselves. Earlier, I just felt this great sadness because on the planet right now, it's like I just was singing to the divine, where did empathy go? I want to know. Where did empathy go? I want to know. Where did empathy go? I want to know. I want to know, where did empathy go? And many of you, this is not necessarily for you Starseeds, Soul Tribe, Galactic Tribe, because you have empathy and you're learning how to have that for yourself. How to have patience and love and not judging yourself. So, the ones that wound are very wounded. And I've talked about this before. It's just how do we forgive? I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend that you do. Louise Hay is a pioneer in personal development. She had been an alcoholic and, really learned the power of loving herself, of being in a self-love journey. And she really healed herself through, affirmations. One that I would like to share with you that keeps coming up because, especially Starseeds, those of you who have been gang stalked and that were, people tried to unalive you and you're still alive. This is a good one to say, which is the past has no power over me. And I know it might be challenging for some of us. Yet to try to say it, I use it with clients a lot, is the past has no power over me. And what Louise Hay says in that book is, some of the things that, cause dis-ease, not ease, so not at ease, is resentment, unforgiveness, guilt, shame. And so, how we heal that is by practicing loving ourselves and forgiving. And one of the things she says in there is you can forgive even if you don't know how to forgive. Just the willingness to forgive is really what we need. And we can forgive without condoning people's behavior. So that's always been kind of my question to Yeshua, is well, how do you forgive? Yeshua, it's been shared that Yeshua had said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And, and that may be true because wounded people wound other people. And we all have the wound of leaving the womb. So everybody has that base wound of I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not, what's the other one? Not lovable. And so then we suffer from mindlessness and joylessness and lovelessness. And those are scripts we can change. Each moment you have a choice of how you choose to live your life. And each moment you can choose your thoughts and change your mindset. And one of those ways is just saying, I am lovable. Looking at yourself in the mirror work is really challenging. Yet if you look in the mirror and you start saying, I am lovable, I am divine, I am loving, I am courageous, I am beautiful, whatever that is that your inner child needs to hear to heal. I am confident. Whatever that is, start telling yourself those things. And another thing Louise Hay says, and You Can Heal Your Life, is that yeah, saying, you know, that you forgive yourself, that you forgive yourself for whatever lessons your soul came in here to learn. You know, forgiving ourselves. And then she also says to practice not criticizing yourself, you know, to really practice loving instead of criticizing oneself. So I really hope that this helps somebody today. I'm feeling a lot of, you know, there's a lot of sadness and anger and fear. And the more that we are waking up, Starseeds, to remembering that it's okay to have joy. It's okay. You know, you are worthy and deserving to have joy, to be healthy in mind, body, and soul, to be healed, healthy, whole in mind, body, and soul. You are worthy and deserving to be abundant, to have sustainability in your life, to have stability in your life. And you're remembering this, and it's coming. The divine is setting a table for all of you who are just working. You're going through the shit. You had to go through hell and back to remember that the truth of life is love, and you're doing it, and you're doing it with such strength and courage and love. You're just learning to love yourself. I'm learning to love myself every day more and more. I'm learning. And you know, it really started with that, just looking in the mirror and saying I'm lovable. And so if you haven't heard it for a while, you are lovable, you are worthy, you are enough, you are deserving. You know, and as I really just, it just seems like, I know people who have empathy, yet in the world, that old model of competition, it's really hard to watch the young people, especially, you know, Anna's 12, and just seeing what these young girls do, and people just in general, it's not just young girls, but the competition model in our, you know, public school systems are based on that, is kids comparing themselves to each other, constant comparison. And as adults, people do that all the time too. And it's like, if we weren't comparing, you know, and loving ourselves, we would see that we each have beautiful gifts, we have beautiful skills, each are unique to us. And so I'm excited that we're moving from that competition model to a cooperative model and a collective model. In the meantime, though, you know, with our young ones, it's really important to teach them to love themselves so that they're not caught up in comparisons. Because when we're caught up in comparisons, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And why? Why do it? The divine created each one of you so unique. You're not like anybody else. And so for the copycats out there, stop mimicking other people. Start loving yourselves and finding out what your gifts are. Stop copying other people's shine. It's not yours. You didn't work hard to get it. That's the part that, okay, peace to you, copycats, peace to you. Just start doing the work, you know, and you'll see that you are lovable, that you have your own unique things. Yeah, so the competition model, comparison model, let's flip out of that to go into 5D. It's going to be cooperative. It's going to be the people who know how to, first of all, love themselves, know how to see other people's shine and are excited for their shine and applaud their shine. They're not jealous of it. They don't have hate towards them. You know, this whole people judging themselves and then projecting it onto other people. I just don't understand that. Why do that? What does that serve? It doesn't serve the highest good at all. So we leave competition model and we go into cooperative model. And when we do that, when you start finding like-minded people that want to work on solutions to world problems, you know, and it's teaching our kids how to work, you know, first of all, to love themselves. So we have to practice that and model that for ourselves. And then to show them how to do that. And not to compare, but to just honor their own, to find their own individual uniqueness. And to celebrate our uniquenesses, not trying to box everybody in to be the same. Or to make people feel, you know, what the competition model sets up is, you know, there's people who are higher up. It sets a hierarchy of like people who are better and then people who are less than, or, you know, it sets up all the division game, which doesn't make us feel good. It makes us feel unworthy. And then people consume, right? People fill themselves up with stuff that feels good for just a little bit, and then it doesn't last. But what fills you up that lasts is the self-love journey in progress. Practicing loving yourself. Telling yourself kind things. Taking each moment to find out what feels good and do more of that. You know? Which Starseeds you are. Like, I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at the creativity that is just like wildfire, and the courage and the truth saying. You truth sayers out there, ooh la la, thank you for being so aligned with the divine in this time. And, you know, let us keep visualizing this. I call it 5D creative process because it's a collective process where we're, you know, feeling the shift with Gaia, and we are seeing and starting to feel that there's going to be a major shift here. Those old systems, they can no longer work like that. And the people wearing the masks, they're off. The ancestors will make that so. They are making that so right now. There's gonna be a new way, a new day. Today starts a new way, a new day, yeah. Today starts a new way. Today is a new day, yeah, yeah. Here, I want to see if I can flip you around. I don't know. I guess I can't, but how do we have empathy? How do we have empathy for ourselves and for other people? I mean, I get it. I think there's fear. 'Cause, you know, everyone has the wound of leaving the womb. And then some of us have had some major betrayals and some major fuckery that's happened to us where, you know, there's some groups of people who really, Starseeds, they wanted to see us fail. They wanted us to not get back up. They wanted to keep us down. And, well, they're sadly mistaken, because the divine has a divine design. And that's that we shine unapologetically. And we share our gifts to help go into 5D. A more love, more peace, more joy, more abundance for all. So this is the message. I just want to say I'm really proud of you. And you went through the eye of the needle. Do you know that? The eye of the needle. You did. And you're still alive. And you are just, each day I see many of you shining brighter, standing up for yourself with healthy boundaries with people around you, where you're like, I no longer deserve to be treated in wasteful or destructive ways. And many of you are stepping into your real gifts, and you're sharing them, and it's changing the world for the better. And many of you are earth protectors. You're protecting Gaia and her animals and plants. And There's many of you who are inventors and innovators, and you're bringing some real cool solutions to the table. So thank you. Thank you for everybody who's doing the work. Thank you. Thank you for going through the eye of the needle and waking up to the remembrance that you're worthy, you're divine. Okay, ciao for now. Shine on, shine on, shine on.